Go ahead.
With Klay having a torn ACL, that usually they have to let the swelling go down a few days at least, right before you talk about a surgery date. Is that, I mean, just a heartbreaking couple of games for injuries.
You know, the most common conversation I had last night with everybody was that we were just out of words. We were out of emotion. I mean, it was just, I don't know how, you know, as a human being, you can only process so much. And then winning and losing is an emotional event. So just seeing him back there and, you know, figuring it might be an ACL, but not being sure. And I mean, for me, growing up, going to Warriors game, I'll never forget him walking out and shooting those free throws. Just as a fan, right? I don't get to be a fan that much, but yeah, I don't know the surgery stuff. We'll find a great surgeon in conjunction with him and his agents. I talked to him this morning. He said he didn't sleep much. The beauty of Klay was, I said, "How you feeling?" And he said, "Can't believe we lost that game." So, you know, that tells you everything you need to know. And he, just to watch him grow up over the last however many years, I don't know, 8. What a joy to have him on our team.
Bob, guys, you talk about Klay and also Kevin. Both are going through a long recovery rehab ahead of them. Does that change how you pursue them going into this free agency this summer?
No, I mean, I don't. There's things I can say. There's all these rules, but I would say that we value those guys at the highest level. I mean, wouldn't be a very good whatever I am GM if I didn't understand how valuable they are to our own team. You know, it sometimes gets lost, but I think when Kevin plays in the NBA Finals, we've gone 9-1. So I don't know what else matters. And Klay's, they're both fantastic. So those are guys that you do everything you can to keep within your organization.
Last year at this time, this exact, I guess, press availability, you said Kevin would, whatever he wants as far as negotiations.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how you're going into it with KD and Klay?
I mean, I got in trouble for kind of saying, I don't know what I'm allowed to say. All I'll say is that those guys are highly important to us and deserving of being rewarded in the right manner. So we would, knowing them too as people, those are people that you, beyond what everybody here sees, and we get to see a little, the curtain keeps getting more and more open. The media, the fans get to see more and more of us, but there is some stuff you don't see, which we get for ourselves. And so to see those two guys, not just them, but our whole team, it's hard to find high quality people, and both of them are that. And so you try to keep those guys within these walls the best you can.
What's your level of optimism that Kevin wants to return?
That's, I don't know. But, the guy's been, like I said, I mean, what more can we ask for from him? He's been everything to us. I mean, the guy been everything that we could have ever dreamed. Been an awesome member of this organization. I mean, there's so much stuff he does in the community that probably doesn't get as many headlines. The things he's done in DC, his foundation, how he kind of lives his life. It's like I said, we're lucky to have been around him. Hopefully, we can keep doing that.
Bob, your free agency situation was already complicated, much more so now with the injuries. As you enter the period, do you sort of move down all the tracks at one time, or is it more like dominoes where you have to solve one thing before you can move to the next?
Well, I've always said about free agency, it's never what you think. I mean, who would have thought we'd be walking into free agency like nobody would have, not anybody, no fan, no member, nobody in our organization, nobody outside would have predicted, well, this is what you're going to face. But that's what that's what's here. That's what's in front of us. I think that we have great leadership here. We've got great ownership. We've got a great coach in Steve Kerr. And you move through free agency just like you move through every day of the season, the best you can. Try to get as good of a team as you can. try to make it fit as well as you can within the economic parameters. And you roll the ball out there and you play. But I think this year more than any other tested the fabric of our team. And I think I might, it's hard to not value a championship as much as I value it. Short of winning a championship, and in some ways more than winning a championship, this year I might have been the proudest of our resolve. And I don't know if that's evident. I hear that in people in the Bay Area, the support we've gotten, the things people say about kind of conducting ourselves as champions. That stuff matters. Winning matters too, obviously. It all matters, but try to continue to hang on to that culture.
You think there's a chance you could bring DeMarcus back?
I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of this stuff. Like I said, I'd love to answer every free agency question. The truth is, I've had to think about it for about, well, I actually thought about it about 10 minutes ago because we've been doing exit interviews with all our players. So I don't even know if you were sitting with me privately. I can't even answer some of this stuff because Klay Thompson tore his ACL 12 hours ago or whatever he did. And so, as human beings, you gotta process this stuff. We will. The schedule doesn't afford. We got a draft in I don't know 5 days. No, nobody's asked a draft question. I mean, realistically, that's and I probably couldn't answer that either, because but that's in 5 days. So we were gonna have a draft workout on Tuesday. I don't know. The schedule is. I think their GM said, "You guys have done this 5 years in a row. It's great, but it's you like a little more prep time. It's okay."
Bob, how much pain was
Yep.
That last night, that incident with the Alameda County Sheriff's Department, was there any way to prevent that? Do you have any sentiments on how you'd like to go? I mean, it's turning into a semi-international incident.
Is it? I honestly, I know him. I congratulated him, but I honestly haven't seen. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen the video. I haven't seen any media. I woke up today, took my daughters to camp, had some cereal, and started meeting with Steph Curry and Draymond Green. And there's enough to do here. I hope it gets resolved in the best way possible. And that Toronto, that doesn't blemish any of what their accomplishments are. They did a wonderful thing. Winning a championship is unbelievably hard. But we don't have a lot of time to figure out our own house here.
Bob, Looney probably played in a lot of pain the last few days. What did he mean for you guys and do for you guys? And also, has Livingston said what his plans are?
Yeah, he's had about 12 hours to it. I get it. These questions are all fair. No, but Looney was, he smiled. I walked in. I said, "How's your body?" And he started laughing. I mean, there's a pride in every athlete. That there's but we're if your body hurts, it hurts. It's tough. And so I think our whole team. I think Raymond said 105 playoff games in the last 5 years. These aren't excuses. These are just facts. They're not to be said as good or bad, but that's a lot of games, and everybody's kind of banged up. But again, I don't want to say that that's a reason why we lost. But Looney's banged up, but he'll be okay. Andre just says he's old, but he'll be okay. I mean, Sean is, he'll reflect upon what is in front of him, and we'll talk about that. But at this point, I don't think anybody should be making any decisions right now. Even me, I sit up here and answer these questions, but it's, just talking to Klay this morning, he said I haven't picked up the phone and talked to anybody because I just got to get my head around everything. I mean, I don't know. I know I have to do media today. I probably shouldn't because I just don't have a lot of good answers.
You guys suffered a lot of injuries this year, a lot of soft tissue injuries, non-contact injuries. I know you and Steve have both spoken very highly of the regard that you have for Rick, but this is now, I think, 3 years in a row you've had some medical turnover. Is there going to be a reevaluation at all in terms of the personnel or the processes there?
No, Rick's unbelievable. He's we're lucky to have him. He's things happen sometimes, and our job is to evaluate everybody, but no, he's one of my favorite people. Human being, competent, experience. So, you never know. I think as we go through this, and as things get analytical and more and more information is available, and minutes and load, and even for us, it's still the game of basketball. You play basketball. I mean, who knows? If you played right now, you'd blow out your ACL. I don't know. I don't know myself. It doesn't. Yeah. My point is, there's variables, and we try to. This is not a controlled environment. None of it is. This is not. We're not machines. We're not computers. And you know what? That's why I like it. Because there's a human. Last night I'm watching the game, and as a basketball fan, what a great game of basketball. What great competition. What great storylines and what great emotion. If it all was predictable and exact, I don't know how great it would be. We watch because we don't know what's going to happen. And sometimes pain happens,
Bob, given that Clay and Kevin, even if they come back, are both likely to miss all or most of next season, the odds are already out. I mean, you guys are not going to be the favorites. Is there any way in your mind you can accept almost a step back season?
I mean, it depends. I mean, people say, we're done. And I never think of us as anything. I never thought, people use words about our team. I just think we try our best. In my job's to kind of help pick the team. Coach coaches the team, players play. I've learned that 2016 we were up 3-1, and if you had asked what are the odds of winning, they would have said 97%, and we lost. So odds, I don't know what our odds to win it this year were. We didn't. What are our odds to win it next year? I don't know. It's a longer. When I say long game, all this is a longer game than people think. I mean, I don't do this job for 1 year. I hope our players don't come here expecting to be here just for a year. I hope Steve Kerr doesn't expect to coach just for 1 more year, or Joe Lacob to own the team. The hope is to, and that's why I'm somewhat proud of this year. We didn't win a championship, but this community and this city, the entire Bay Area, I hope they're proud of what we represented. I hope we represented this community appropriately, even in losing. Because I always tell people it's more important how you lose than how you win. And whatever adversity comes, I think you show more of yourself then. When you're winning championships and sweeping in the finals, it's great, everybody loves each other, but this is when you find out who people are, and I'm proud of how we conducted ourselves.
How long can you be in denial about trying to build a roster without Clay and KD? Because I know you don't want to rush into it,
right?
And you don't want to even admit to it, but at some point, the facts are the facts, and you want to build a roster, and those two guys won't be available.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's interesting because you don't. I didn't come here thinking I know Joe did. I didn't know if we'd win a championship. And we did. We ended up. We have 3. So you just keep going. I mean, you wake up every day, and whatever's put in front of you, you deal with. Sometimes it goes your way. We've had a lot of good fortune in the last 5 days. We got the other side of that coin. But you can't. Nobody owes us anything, right? Just because we were supposed to win or we had a roster, we didn't. Who's to say that you have a different roster and it doesn't? So I don't know, Monty. I mean, I think the longer I've been doing this, I think the more you really just bet on its people, players or people, all of it, and you see what happens. And then, that's why I always reference the Spurs, the Patriots. These teams, the Spurs won 5 championships in 14 years, I think. So it doesn't have to be 7 in a row. It doesn't have to be. I mean, I understand it's a great narrative, but nobody said you got to do it every year. We didn't. I mean, I don't know the exact years, but 50 years since a team's been to the finals 5 years in a row. So it doesn't happen. Okay, if it does, great. Just keep it moving. But this is not. I know it's looked upon as a year to year, but it's you just try to build an organization, because there's going to be good luck and there's going to be bad luck. That is coming no matter what. You cannot avoid it. But how do you move through it? And then in your moments where things are going your way, how do you capitalize on them? And when they're not, you can't cry about it. Does it make it easier? No, it doesn't make it easier. But sometimes the greater the challenge, the greater the gratification if you overcome it.
And Bob, given what might be available with the late draft pick, what's realistic as far as any needs that are filled with the draft?
I don't know. The draft. We'll see. I mean, the draft too. I mean, I hate to keep kicking the can down the road, but Looney was a guy that a lot of people said couldn't help us, and he's starting in the last game at Oracle last night. So Jacob didn't get much time this year. What'll happen next year? Damian started and got hurt. Jordan Bell played and didn't play and played more. And at that point in the draft, I think you try to get a guy that'll eventually be a rotation guy, but I don't. It's I just can't believe it's in 5 days. I just can't. I gotta. After this, gotta do that. So.
Can you comment? I'm sorry to keep bringing up all this other stuff that's not basketball. Can you comment on Mark Stevens and that incident and the incident with the fans initially? After the injury of KD?
Again, I think that's been commented on enough. I think it was handled the best way it could be handled. I think he made a great apology, and you move forward.
How do you explain all that stuff?
I don't know how to explain anything in the last 2 weeks, so I can't even. Looking back, I mean, we got to look forward now. I mean, I know you guys have. I don't think any sport, the Super Bowl, the NFL draft isn't 5 days after the Super Bowl. It's not 15 days until the free. This is not. We got to figure that out, because we're going to be judged on that for the rest of the calendar year, starting July 1st. That starts. So my energy, our energy, has to be completely focused on those two jobs.
We're asking obviously about a lot of free agency situations. Do you have a sense of how long-term your future is going to be with the team, or even how long-term you want it to be?
Me, personally?
Yeah.
No, I'm happy here. This is, it's who you go to work with, I don't know how everybody chooses jobs they want, but, the older you get, you realize, even, who knows what's coming. So my goal is to enjoy who I work with every day. And I love basketball. I can't play it much anymore, and never got to play at the level of these guys, but I tell people in however many years, for me, I get to watch the game last night. I just like watching the games. I mean, I love basketball. Not everybody has to feel that way, but I do. And if I can be close to it and walk in the locker room and look at the men that just kind of laid it out, that's a cool front row seat to life for me. After what happened with Kevin, obviously, I don't cry much, but I said, who gets to go to work and feel what we feel? The problem is sometimes it's too much. But that's better than going to work and your heart rate doesn't move.
Bob, I know you can't speak for Kevin, but is it conceivable to you that he would opt in to the final year of his contract, and that the Warriors would basically pay him next year and maybe even oversee his rehab without a longer term contract?
I mean, he's obviously got that right per his deal, but I don't know what he wants to do. I'm not sure what that's obviously his option.
How do you view the most uncertain summer you've had since you got here?
It'll be a challenge, but you know what? It's good. It's a different day, right? I mean, I mean, that's it. That's sports. You guys, everybody here has probably covered sports maybe longer than I have, and it's all part of it, right? I mean, the winning. I mean, look, the nice thing is most people don't get to see. Some people don't get to see the finals ever. You could be a GM, you could be a coach, you could be a player, 15 years, 20, 30. You never made it to the finals. To go 5 years in a row, win, lose, that's life experience. So maybe, now the goal is to do it again. But that'll be a great challenge. Let's see what we can do.
Last question, we got to get Steve out here.
Bob, was there any other damage to any other ligaments aside from the ACL?
I know. I honestly, Nick, I saw the MRI report, which I don't want to see any of these anymore. but I honestly don't remember exactly what that said. I'm sure that'll come out when he's done with the surgery. I don't know when he's doing surgery, but I don't want to guess as to what that was. There's an answer, I just don't remember what it was. I'm sorry.
Great, thank you. We'll have a
Thank you, Bob.
All right, thanks, guys.